This week on Dumb Pitches, my guest is me. Yeah, you've been asking for my bad ideas, and here are a couple of great ones. I think you should have cup holders in your pants, and it's a pretty good idea. It's real fun. Nolan helps me out, and honestly, I'm not convinced they're bad ideas, so you have to tell us in the comments. But here we go, Dumb Pitches.
What a bunch of dumb pitches. Oh my goodness.
Welcome to another episode of Dumb Pitches with Monica Nevi. I'm Monica Nevi, your host, and you've been asking for it. Here it is. It's a public episode of my bad ideas. But I'm going to do it the exact same, so I got to make myself sound pretty good. So, help me welcome my guest. It's me. Hello. I'm here. I got to give myself a little bit of credibility, right? Well, I have a wonderful podcast called Dumb Pitches. If you haven't checked it out, you're confused about where you are. Otherwise, I am a stand-up comedian. I've been doing stand-up for 10 years. I have a stand-up album that was #1 on the comedy charts called Mostly Finger Guns. I also put out a meditation album that was also #1 on the comedy charts. It's called Chill. Let's see what else. I had a documentary series on Amazon Prime called 80 for 80. It's still available. It's right here on YouTube if you want to watch that. Been on Laughs on Fox. I was on ESPN SportsCenter. I had another podcast called Hug Life. Plenty of ideas that I just went through with, basically. I don't know if they're good or not, but they exist. But what we've learned over doing so many episodes, what is this, number 19? We've learned from all of our guests that having bad ideas is actually really important to the good ideas. And so many of our guests had invention ideas, which I didn't imagine that adult creatives would stay at home and just think of inventions that they weren't ever going to be able to make. But it made me think that I actually have a few as well. So we'll go through the idea like we normally do. Nolan, who is here with me in the Third Wheel podcast studio in Seattle, if you want to make a podcast or need some professional recording, check them out. And because I need him to maybe answer some questions and or ask some questions of me, because we can't just go without being questions on the bad ideas.
You ask yourself the question and then answer your own question.
Yeah, it's like, what were you thinking? Yeah. So he's going to help us out a little bit if we need the clarifying questions. So, okay, the first one. These are inventions. These are two inventions, I guess, I thought of. And I didn't just make this up today, by the way. This is something I genuinely thought of or said out loud, I guess, was the first thing. So I guess what made me think of it is because I do have anxiety, pretty bad anxiety disorder, and part of what happens when I'm feeling panicky is I'm afraid I'm going to drop things, and I never do. I have a great hand-eye coordination. I've never spilled in my adult life. I've never dropped a drink and spilled it, but I constantly think I'm going to do this. So I was sitting there, maybe having had a couple of beverages. And I said out loud, I wish my legs had cup holders in them. Which is not, I think I was, imagining too.
Out loud to yourself?
Yeah, well, I know out loud to the room, but I don't know.
There were people there?
Oh, yeah, they questioned it for sure, too.
Okay.
They were like, what? And I think people immediately are like, why would that? Because it's an angular thing, too. So if I was imagining built into my own body on the top of my thighs are 2 cup holders. I do. Why? I don't know. Because you need, in case you have a friend next to you.
If you're partying,
Yeah, right.
If you're ready to go.
You got double fists, then you got double cup holders. But that seemed a little bit scary to have cup holders actually in your legs. So then I thought of, what if there was pants that had cup holders in the leg part and the thigh parts, so that when you sat down, it was a nice cup holder there. You'd have to remember you couldn't stand up, but
I feel like I'm going to jump in and maybe say this isn't the worst idea.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
because if you had, let's say, some cargo shorts and you had some vertical cup holders and you're at the beach or whatever, that could be a dope look.
Well,
and I feel
if,
like people could be really on board with that.
if any type of pant needed more
Exactly.
more things to hold, cargo pants are the one. Well, and I don't know why I imagined the same, those zip off pants,
Yes.
which were cargo pants too, but you could do a capri if you were feeling
Yep.
modest, and then you could zip off to be a short as well. And my grandpa loves those.
It would be kind of like it could be a fun Spencer. It's like if you did it, it'd be really funny to unleash, like a Spencer's gift type
Yeah.
thing. You show up to a party with cup holders on your pants.
I wonder.
I really feel like that could do well. You wouldn't use it that often, but you'd use it once, and people would love it.
That's true. Well, and I just feel like, because it's a seated thing, obviously, right? Like I'm sitting and I can put. You're not near a table, obviously. I could put my cups here because you could do something. They got the little helmets.
Yeah.
With the straws or whatever, but also maybe like a belt or a fanny pack area. But when you sit, then it would rotate. It would have to adjust. I mean, you would spill on yourself basically. In the same way that with the cup holder pants, if you stand up, you might spill. But I just feel like you have a better chance of remembering that they're there.
Yeah.
If they're right there on your legs.
Yeah.
And maybe it would keep people from being as creepy. You couldn't really sit on somebody's lap if they had two cups.
There you go.
Or if you're into that, I guess. I don't know.
That's the sales angle.
We've created a new kink on accident.
Keep creepy people away.
Keep creeps off.
With creepy cups.
Creepy cups. That was the other. I like a good a catchy name too. I think that has a really good. It's just important in marketing to have something that is catchy, and so sit and sip is what I originally.
That's good.
But you could call them sips for short, right? Like I got to put my sips on.
This is hilarious.
I'm enjoying that you think it's funny. This
It
is
is.
good. We also have our new a new part of the team here at Third Wheel. Blake is sitting in, and I can hear him laughing, so I feel good about.
This is good. It's one of those ideas that's not just 100% bad. That's for sure. There's
That's
been
true.
way worse ideas.
I think there's some logistics that might be an issue of what do you, because you want the cup holder to actually like stand up enough, right?
Right.
But then it would kind of either it would like stick out while you were standing up,
Yeah.
or.
And really, how much better is it than a tray in general? Just kind of laying a tray on your lap that you have to get up.
That's true. Your thighs aren't necessarily the flattest thing in the world, but
Right.
you'd have to. Definitely not mine. Yeah, because I kind of wish it could be like a like a camping chair cup holder. It's kind of that mesh,
right.
but then it wouldn't really stand up enough to make a difference. So because then it could lay down when you got up, and it would just be two very fashionable circles on your legs when you stand up. But it would probably not lay flat when you sat down either. So
I was picturing it like if you could stand and then it could rotate as you stood, so that it could become vertical while you walk. But then that gets a little sloshy because you're moving your legs around.
yeah, that's true.
So if it could also then rotate and then lunge a lid on it
yeah,
in one fell swoop with a mechanism.
that's a lot. But yeah, you know what?
so-
There's no
There's no-
ceiling to any of these ideas here at Dumb Pitches.
I was gonna say there's no limit to how bad this idea.
There's
can
also no engineering research that goes into this. So whoever's watching in is a mathematician. You tell us how this would work. I mean, there's a lot of things that do that, like rotating,
Yeah.
where it works. Or I was looking at those straps that you put on your arm when you run.
Right.
And the old ones just like put your phone in it and it just stayed there, and you could never have to kind of try and look at your arm like that.
Yes.
But now they have them where you can like rotate them around and stuff. So it could be something like that. I mean, I guess you could still be in control of it. Obviously we would love it to be as simple as, oh, it knows I'm standing up, so it's going to rotate that way.
It'd have to be kind of a gyro mechanism,
Yeah.
right?
Sure. Yeah, I know what that is. Yes. Yeah, that would be fine. I like the lid idea. I don't know how that.
Just because if you're walking, it's gonna get sloshy.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you don't want your pants to get wet. There would be a placement thing on that too,
Right.
Would it be closer to the knee in the middle of your thigh, or, closer?
Or
to your creep parts.
Right. The creepy parts
The creepy
that you're
parts.
trying to protect with the invention.
Exactly. Don't sit on me. See, I was imagining kind of right in the middle of the thigh, just based on a surface area. Because
Did you
know,
say that?
when
Was
most
this like a
people
high
sit,
thought? That you
I don't think I was high. I think I was drinking.
or that you said that you pictured that your actual thighs
My
were cup
actual
holders?
thighs had cup holders. Like I wished at that moment that I was born with cup holders built into my legs. You know, have you ever seen Gattaca?
No.
It's Jude Law and
Blake knows it. He's nodding his head.
well, who's the other guy? Blake, do you remember? Is it Ethan Hawke? I can't remember. It's Ethan Hawke. Okay, so it's in a time when you can select pre-birth the genetics that your baby has, and everybody who didn't do that is like cast aside because they're not as good, whatever. And so I think it was something like that where it was like if you could. That sounds like you're ordering a car. You're like, I want my baby to have cup holders. And you could like add that function. I've also had the thought that I wish my body was like a cell phone screen. You know how you can replace, like if you crack it, you can just replace it?
Yep.
I wish there was parts in my body that were easily replaced. Like I know you can have a knee replacement or a hip replacement, but it's not the same as your...
We're getting there though, I think.
I know,
because of like 3D printing. Maybe they could 3D print.
Some cup holders to put in your legs.
A pancreas. 3D print. Removable and installable cup holders.
Yeah.
And then you could once you take them out, then you have you can fill it with skin material.
Oh, okay.
Muscular you have less powerful legs, but it'll look the same.
That's true. I mean, later when by the time I had this thought, my basketball career was over, so it's okay.
You didn't need those.
I don't need all the quad strength. Yeah. I do it comes standard with cup holders. This baby does.
Yeah.
Sips. Okay. Well, now we're into a whole other if you could actually get them put into your legs. I'm sure. I don't know. That would be a lot to cut out.
Yeah. Well, it would have to be maybe 3 inches deep. And I think most of us have about that much between the thigh and the bone.
Yeah, that would be interesting. What?
And then maybe some sort of ability to cool the drink as well would be kind of nice.
Oh, I didn't even think about the fact that your body is warm.
It's going to heat that up quick.
It is going to heat that up. Yeah.
So if we can get some sort of...
because now maybe the thought came from trying to put it in between your thighs. People.
Mm-hmm.
My parents used to do that when they were driving.
That's like a cup holder.
We had cup holders. Yeah, but then it does heat it up, and also you smash it if it's a can.
Yep.
Or a bottle or whatever.
Yep.
I'm breaking glass bottles with my thighs. No, I mean like a plastic bottle.
You're also driving with a lot of glass.
Yeah, that's not good. But then also it can slip forward. I have that. You have to readjust it or whatever. These are the problems I'm trying to avoid with sips. Sit and sips. I don't think it's the worst idea.
It's not. Yeah, it's the putting it into your body thing is a little wild. That's a little out there.
Yeah, that's
but
just
the external mechanism that could be done.
They're pants, I think it can. You just put them on. Well,
they're cup holder pants.
I'm thinking of I'm wearing jeans right now, which I wear pretty tight jeans, and so that might not work with something like this. But if you had more of a hammer pant or something with some loose.
Right. A slacks.
Yo, there you go.
Some khakis.
Slack and sip. Yeah. Just for
hammer
when
pants.
You're at work.
That's great.
Well, yeah, it's just a little more give, so when you sat it could stand up, but when you were standing up you might not notice the it sticking out, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll have to see. We'll do some prototypes here.
Yeah, we got to test this out. We got to see if this works in the market.
I think I've only been thinking about pants. My next one, unless you have any more questions about the cup holder pants.
No, I'm just now my mind's running wild. I love it, and I'm kind of yes-anding it in my own head of ways to make this happen.
Well, and I feel like that would be the only place that you could do it on your body too. You couldn't really put it on your arms or.
You could do a chest cup, like kind of a, you know how
Oh, if
babies
it was
are
like, what are
hung?
those? Yeah.
You know?
Babies are hung. You know,
You know how we commonly hang babies?
yeah, when you hang your baby from your neck.
From your own neck.
Yes. I think I've seen stuff like that. Maybe for a water bottle or something. That actually might be. It just doesn't seem as stable, I guess, as the vision I have for the cup holder pants.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very specific vision. Yeah,
Right.
stability is key.
Yes.
It chills your cup.
You're already sitting, you know, I'm just imagining you know, here, visualize with me. You're out near maybe a lake. This is my favorite place to have a Bud Light. Near a lake, sitting outdoors. It's nice weather. You sit down in the camping chair or on a log maybe or something, you know, maybe near a fire. I don't know. It's just that's where they should go, you know. Because when you're holding it in your hand and you kind of set it down, that's usually where it goes anyway.
And then you could be kind of like, you could do like 4 or something. And then you could be that person that has everybody's drinks for them. So that
like the top of a cooler where they have all those, but then you got to move the drinks every time you want to open the cooler.
Yeah.
Not when you got your sit and sips on, because you could just sit there and hold everybody's
Not when
drinks.
you got your sit and sips. This is so great. This would just be a fun invention because you can kind of clumsily make this with not a lot of money. Like
this is one of those things. Yeah, I would like somebody to try, but this is one of those things where you would purchase it and not tell anyone, and then show up to a party with them on, and everybody would be like, "Oh my god!" It's the same. Like I feel like it's a similar vein, which maybe Spencer's is a good. You know, that was a good thought because it's like those flip flops that had bottle openers on it, or was a flask or whatever, like in the side of it.
Yeah.
Or the belt buckles that had a bottle opener on it. It's similar where you're like, I'm not gonna tell. Everyone's just gonna think these are normal flip flops until we need a drink.
But then
apparel that functions for alcoholism. That's really my lane here.
I love it. It's a good lane. It's lucrative.
Okay, and then
I honestly think that somebody listening to one of your fans is going to listen to this, and you could make it with like 2 solo cups.
Ooh.
And kind of, you could make it, you know.
You could make a pretty shittier version
and then you can
than what I have in my head. But that's honestly how I do most things. So
you got to start somewhere.
It's just a little less good. Now, not necessarily with this stuff, my creative job, but when I was a kid and I had to do like art projects and stuff, I had a very distinct idea of what it was supposed to look like, and it never looked like that ever.
I feel you on that.
So I could see this. Oh yeah, this is nice. I could well, there was a big thing during, I mean, it's still kind of quarantine, but where you play beer pong with yourself, and they like made this shirt with the solo cups on it, and they try to bounce it off into there.
Oh,
but it
dope.
didn't have any liquid in it. But I think it's a similar, you know.
I never saw that. That's cool.
Yeah, there was a couple people.
So it was like a shirt, and then it had 6 cups on the front.
Yeah, I don't know if it was all 6, but yeah, you would bounce it off the mirror or off the wall or whatever, and then try to get it in a cup. And then you
this
would
is
also
something you would
drink
do by yourself?
Yes.
Oh my
And
god.
you would also drink. It was like a, you know, just like a sweet TikTok video or whatever that went around, but that's pretty, yeah.
That's quarantine
I
right
think
there.
it really is. The creativity that came out of is not like Shakespeare. Anyways,
Bo Burnham
we just
inside.
found different ways. Yeah, we found different ways to drink and go crazy. All right, next one, which is maybe it's just a line of clothing for alcoholic adults. It's you know the Healies, the shoes with the wheels on the back of them.
Yep.
Okay, these are pants that have them on the butt, so you so you can sit down and go places. I think you might have to have Healies and the pants.
I was just gonna say that.
We could pitch it to that company.
Yeah.
You know, or what would you call them? I don't know. Tushies. No, I think that's a bidet.
I was gonna say
though.
Bealies, but that doesn't sound good.
I mean, it's really just all they did was add IES, right? Healies.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Buddies.
Assies. No, that's not.
Yeah. Rumpies.
Dump wheels.
Dump wheels. Get your dump wheels.
But well, I didn't even think about this before. What if they? Oh man, you got your sit and sips on the front, right?
Here we go.
Also got dump wheels on the back.
If that's how you enter a party, Game
You're like, this
over.
person has a plan. They're ready to make some
and
mistakes.
the beer pong shirt on the front.
And the beer pong, you're just covered in cups for whatever. That way, once you beat yourself enough time in beer pong, you could just sit down on your way home.
Yep.
You know, you just
roll home, baby.
You have to live near your friend
And
and
if you're-
downhill, but you can get there.
If you're hammered, somebody can roll you now. They
Yeah.
can push you home.
I mean, honestly, though, how many times have you had friends like pass out somewhere and you're like, okay, I got to get you up, you know, and they're just like, not.
Yep.
And you just grab their arms and you can just wheel them this way.
That's another good invention. Just kind of like the drunk passed out gurney, like for every home.
Yeah, there you go.
that
Oh,
you're-
that'd be nice.
you're
I mean,
able to-
that's kind of those rollaway beds that they have in hotels.
yeah.
Could do like that. Only have those. Everything here has wheels on it so we can move people if they pass out.
Yeah. This is America.
What are you planning for? That's funny because I had well, it's kind of turned into a new joke, so I don't want to tell too much of it, but
Verbatim.
yeah, here we go. I mean, it's kind of, you know, most things exist on the internet somewhere at this point, but I had made a joke about millennials having IBS, where that's like a pretty common thing with us, which is true. And I thought maybe, because I put it on the talk, and I thought maybe it would cause some arguments. And all it was in the comments was a list of different reasons why that is true. So
Oh, wow.
nobody was like, I don't have IBS. They were like, oh my God, I didn't realize it wasn't just me. But the number one thing that people brought up was For Loco, the original
Ooh.
For Loco. I don't know
Interesting.
if you had experience with the original For Loco. But
I never actually drank Four Loco.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good for you. Way to show off.
You think you're real cool.
If you don't know what For Loco is, it was a premium malt beverage that had a higher alcohol content and it had energy drinks, whatever is in energy drinks, also in it, mixed together. And unfortunately, it like a lot of kids died from drinking too much of it. And so they had to actually legally change what was in it because, yeah, it was becoming an issue. But if that, you know, if you had your dump wheels, you could just roll them to the hospital, you know, instead of being afraid everyone's going to get in trouble. I don't know what.
Dump wheels and sip. What is it?
Sit and sips.
Sit and sips and your Healies. This is
I
great.
don't. I feel like it's a whole line of adult wear. Adult wear.
Honestly.
It's funny because I can't imagine anything other than that same like khaki cargo short look for these, and I don't think everybody wants to wear those.
Ooh, how about jean shorts? Jorts, I feel like could be really popular.
You could see that.
Yeah.
I'm also a little concerned about the comfortability of the dump wheels because, you know, on Healies they like clip in, and you don't really notice. I don't think I've never worn.
I think
them,
you
but
can.
it's what it looks
Yeah, you
like.
can kind of snap them into the heel. I think.
Yeah,
Too.
but if you snap them in,
Where's it gonna go?
yeah, where's it gonna go?
In your dump.
In your dump, right in the dump.
I mean, it could just be something you wear around your waist, like you strap it on, like a belt buckle, or like a harness, you know, like a bungee jump harness or whatever.
I just like how fucking crazy you would look walking in, like, woo, let's do this.
With
It's
wheels
like,
on
my
your butt.
God. Yeah. Or those little scooter board things that we had in PE when I was little.
I do like that. I feel
Strap
like
one of those to your butt.
the party market is a good bad invention market to where it's not a bad invention because the kookier it is, the more fun it just is.
That is a fair point. There's a lot of shit that actually exists that you buy just because it's funny. In fact, I was very optimistic during the winter months that my family might be able to get together for Christmas. That didn't happen, but I purchased a game which was an inflatable headband thing that was reindeer antlers
nice.
that you strap around your head, and then everyone else has like a ring toss and you just
I love it,
try to catch them on there. But that exists and I bought it, so you
Yeah.
know, like whatever makes
especially if they're like, you know, it's $30 or under. Like I think all these things we just said today could be $30 or under, and
yeah,
that's the type of
especially
thing.
if you do a short version. I think that would be
Yeah.
because you don't really need your calves covered if you're at a party. I don't know what that
What kind of
means,
nerd shows up with their calves covered?
Oh God, I think these are pretty good. I'm pretty, you know.
I really think the couple.
Show
the
looks
thigh
hard
couple
sometimes, but it's actually much easier. Just kidding.
I think that's a good idea.
It is pretty good. All right. Well, if you're out there ready, you know how to sew. You want to make a prototype
Or
send
weld.
send weld. There you go. We put armor on. Send us a prototype, a photo. That'd be nice. Just sitting down with your sit and sips on. Anyways.
A phototype.
The main reason I wanted to do a fun solo episode of My Bad Ideas that's public is because we actually have a few of them already up on the YouTube membership. And if you're not on the membership, you should do that. If you sign up, it's a certain amount a month or just different tiers. It's $3.99, $8.99, and $14.99, I think. But even with just the $3.99, you get early access to these episodes. So you get them the day before. And you get custom emojis, and you get a little badge. And when we do live streams, then you have the emojis you can use and stuff, and comments. Anyways, and then as it goes up, there's behind the scenes videos, other videos of mine that are only available for members, also live streams that are only available for members. And we're going to switch it up a little bit because I have overextended myself yet again, where if we do trivia, that'll be just for members also. And then at the top tier, you get full sets. So I have a 50-minute set up there, a stand-up set, and then also another 34-minute stand-up set, and without any edits or anything. So, if you haven't seen me live, which hopefully you can come and do that sometime soon, but if you want to see what it's really like to be at a show, it's the whole thing. It's not just a clip or, the crowd work of it or whatever. It's the whole thing. It's worth it. I promise you. And plenty of other things on there. But more of My Bad Ideas available, and including a brand new one that we're putting up that has to do with audience responses. Some, I want your input. I want your bad ideas. It's going to be great. Anyways, I had a fun time. I feel pretty good about myself after that.
That was great.
Thank you, Nolan, for your help. And subscribe, like, share, follow, whatever you do on whatever you're listening or watching it. If you're listening on Spotify but you haven't subscribed to the YouTube, do that too. YouTube's great. It's super helpful and the only thing that's monetized for me, so thank you. But right now, why don't you just keep watching Dumb Pitches?
You're weird.
Yes.